How's it going, guys? It's your old pal Tony. Let's rank some devil fruits. Peeper, no, don't eat that. Yeah, I cracked myself up. You like my little devil fruit? Check it out. I got like a little gacha figure in this. I think it was a little tiny figure of Reiju. Actually, wait, let me see if I can. Let me pull it out. Look, there she is. Little tiny Reiju figure. Also have this tiny little gum gum fruit I made. Check them out. Tiny little devil fruit. Alright, we're 2 minutes into the video. I haven't said anything yet. So, we're going to rank some Logia fruits. So, there's 13 Logia fruits, not too many of them. Shouldn't be a super long video. I'm going to go through each one and give it a rank. I'm going to take the power of the devil fruit into consideration. I mean, some of this is about how strong each of these fruits are, but some of it is just how cool I think they are. You know, how much I'd want to have this devil fruit. So, obviously, I'm going to be a little biased here. It's just kind of my opinion. If you got different opinions, hey, let me know down in the comments. So these aren't really in any particular order. I think I'm kind of just going to go through them alphabetically. So that would make the first one Caesar Clown's Gas Fruit. Now, this is a pretty strong devil fruit. I do have some pictures for some of these devil fruits, but they don't all have like a canon design. I actually made like mock-up pictures for a couple of these, you'll see when I get to them, but I kind of just didn't really feel like doing that for all these, so some of them are just going to be pictures of the character that uses the fruit. So here we have Caesar Clown with the Gas Fruit. I'm going to go over what each of these fruits do just a little bit. So obviously this allows Caesar Clown to turn into gas. And there's kind of like a very diverse range of abilities that this allows him to do. He can like kind of fly and like levitate, and he also seems to have access to like a whole bunch of different gases. So he's got like poisonous gas, flammable, explosive gases. He can also just like suck the oxygen out of the air and make it so people just like can't breathe. He's got this full gas form. I don't really know if this really matters much, you know, being able to turn into a full gas guy gives you that much power, really. But I mean, it looks interesting, so I'm putting it in here. He's kind of got like a ball sack on his head a little bit, but there he is in his gas form. He's got that castanet ability thing he does, where he's got like weird castanets that he like clacks together, and then they make like explosions. And he also has that crazy Shino Kuni ability. Shino Kuni is apparently Japanese for land of death. And let me pull up a picture of this. He just turns into like a big old purple toxic smoke guy, like this. And it's like poisonous gas. It'll mess you up. Luffy gets poisoned a whole bunch in this show. So, I mean, he rides it out. But so he can fly. He has all these different gases. It's pretty strong. But would I want to have it? That's kind of where this falls apart for me a little bit. Because, I don't know. Of all the things I could turn into, I kind of feel like gas is not at the top of the list for me. So I'm going to put it in A tier just because I think it's very powerful and has a lot of different uses, but I don't know if it's one that would be like top of the list of what I would want to have. I might even bump this down further, despite how strong it is. It's just not my favorite, really. So let's see what we have next here. Next up, we have the Goro Nomi, which apparently in English is the Rumble fruit, which I don't know, it's kind of a weird name for it, but it is Enaru's lightning fruit. So yeah, this one, another really, really strong one. Obviously, it gives you the ability to turn into lightning. Luffy would have been kind of screwed if it didn't turn out that he just had like the perfect hard counter to this fruit. Being made of rubber, he kind of just was like invulnerable to the lightning because rubber is an insulator of electricity. So kind of like Caesar Clown with the gas fruit, this is a bad guy with a really strong fruit.
That's a bad guy. Dump him, girl.
I feel like we see a good amount of this across these Logias. I don't know. I don't know how much I have to say about the abilities of this one. I kind of feel like it's pretty straightforward. He just turns into lightning. It's very strong. Apparently, Robin mentioned that among the devil fruits, this Logia is one of the few powers that can be considered invincible. Now, I think this is kind of before they had introduced the idea that you can just armament hockey up your hand and just punch the dick off of any of these guys, but, you know, at the time it was sort of just a coincidence that Luffy had the hard counter. I'm just like looking for anything interesting about this fruit to mention. He is able to like power things with electricity, which is pretty cool. We see during his cover story, he goes to the moon, and I'm not sure if he powers the Arc Maxim with electricity. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think he probably does. Let me see. Yeah, Enel's electrical energy is its main power supply. So that part of the Goro Goro fruit is definitely very helpful. I think he maybe has some kind of like, does he have like some flight sort of high speed? It's sort of similar to the light fruit, I guess. You can just like zip around. I haven't watched this arc in a while, so I don't really remember like the specifics of how this fruit works. He has this ability L4 or Heaven's Judgment, which is just like a gigantic like lightning beam from the sky. Just like a, let me pull it up. Just like a massive column of lightning from the heavens. So, I mean, look at that thing. That is powerful. Extremely powerful. So, I mean, this is not a devil fruit to be trifled with. This thing's serious, but I don't know. Where do we want to put something like this? Here's the thing. So, we're ranking these in the span of the Logias. All of these Logia fruits are pretty powerful. So, it's not like I don't want to put things super high up just because they're powerful, because it's going to be in relation to each other. So, maybe we'll shuffle stuff around as we go. But it's hard for me to put this anywhere lower than like A tier. So let me just pop it in A alongside the gas fruit for now. And we'll see how things shake out as we go. So we got 2 in A. Kind of feel like Logia fruits are pretty all A across the board. Let's see. What's next? The Hie Hie Nomi. The Ice fruit. So this is one of the mock-ups I made. This is the Flare fruit. This is Ace's like fire fruit that I just recolored to be blue. Because I figured, what's the opposite of the ice fruit? Fire fruit. Make it blue. So that was that's the Hie Hie Nomi. Where is this? Hie Hie Nomi. This is Aokiji's fruit. I forgot to pull up a picture of Enel when I was talking about him. Let me pull up a quick picture of Aokiji using the fruit. There he is. Aokiji turning into ice. Again, it's a really strong one. These are all really strong. He can turn into ice. He can freeze things. He can apparently freeze people into like a deep freeze state, but not actually kill them, which I guess is kind of cool. This is pretty similar to another one that we're going to see later on, but I think this is sort of like, and I don't know, to me it seems like this is the stronger version of the two. The fact that he was able to fight Akainu with the magma power using his ice power tells you that this thing is definitely strong. Wait, can I find a picture of him on his little bike? Because that's definitely a cool thing about this devil fruit. Obviously one of the main, challenges in the One Piece world is traversing the oceans, of which there are many and they are vast. So obviously most people have to use ships, and there's very limited flying abilities. But then you get people like Aokiji, and he's just got a bicycle, and he can just, I guess, ride it on frozen. He can just freeze the water into ice and just ride his bike around. So that's pretty cool, traversal ability. I don't actually know is that canon? Like, is that in the manga or is that just an anime thing? Because it feels kind of like an anime thing. In fact, all the pictures I see of it are from the anime. I don't know. Is there anything coming up right away about that? Chapter 303. So I guess it is. So what can he do with this fruit? I mean, yeah, when I get into describing some of these, it's like they're pretty straightforward. You turn into the thing and you can control the element, whatever it is. So he can turn into ice and he can control ice. He's got the Ice Age technique where he just freezes a whole bunch of water. He uses like an ice sword that's kind of cool. Ice Time freezes them into human ice. This one's kind of boring for me, dude. Like I said, I'm going to have to be kind of like harsh on some of these just to like spread out the tiers because all the Logia fruits are good. So I'm actually going to put this one a little bit lower. But where do I want to put it? I'm going to put it just in B for now. I kind of think this might end up lower based on where the other ones go, but, keep it moving. Okay, here's a really, really, really strong one that also has a really strong user. This is another mock-up I made. I just literally cropped out part of a picture of Akainu where he was turning into magma, and I cropped it to the shape of the Flare fruit. So you can see a lot of these kind of just look like Ace's Flare fruit. But yeah, so this is the Magu Nomi, right? Is that what it's called? Magu Nomi, the Magma Fruit. This power belongs to currently Akainu, the Admiral of the Marines, scary guy, kind of a bad guy, kind of a not a very nice guy. Very strong. This devil fruit is super strong, but would I want to have it. Now, like I said, I think I'm going to upset some people with some of these choices because I think I'm just going to have to put some of these, I'm going to have to just rank some of these by how much I like them. So maybe I'll start getting some, you know, having some unexpected choices here just based on my opinion. Because honestly, I think it's like, I think it might legitimately be canon that this devil fruit is more powerful than the fire fruit. But I'm going to be honest, I'd rather have the fire fruit. I think it's cooler. Sue me. Yeah, the wiki says even when compared to the standard Logia, which are powerful in their own right, the Magu Magu Nomi possesses incredible power, particularly in terms of offense. You can become, control, and produce magma, obviously. Here he is, like, surviving an attack because he just turned into magma, which is, you know, any Logia fruit can pretty much do this, but he does have some extreme aura going here, Akainu. He's a scary guy. I mean, I wonder how much of the power of this devil fruit is just down to being, you know, controlled by an unfuckwittable guy. Let's see. I don't know. Does he have any really interesting abilities? Ryusei Kazan. Literally meaning meteor volcano. Yeah, this is pretty badass. It's just like giant fists made of magma or lava. I guess it's magma. I don't know. Raining down from the sky. Just giant fists. Let me pull up the picture of that really quick. Giant fists raining from the sky. Like so. Pretty cool. I can't lie about that. Oh, whoa. He's got a Inugami Guren, dog-biting Crimson Lotus. I was going to say it looks like a dragon, like a magma dragon. I don't really remember this attack, but apparently it's a dog. I don't know. I don't think that really looks like a dog. Kind of looks like a dinosaur, but it's cool. So, you know what? Like I said, I'm going to have to be controversial with the hot takes here. Wait, let me quick save this. I'm going to put this dude in C tier. So, I don't even care. You know what, dude? I'm looking at this, and, like, Akainu beat Aokiji, right? So having Aokiji's fruit right above Akainu feels wrong. Like I said, I'm probably going to put the Flare fruit above the Magma fruit, which is objectively wrong, but it's my opinion, so it's fine. But my opinion is that I don't really like that Aokiji's fruit is above Akainu's fruit, and honestly, I don't really think it's that cool. So check this out, ready? I grabbed the wrong one. Boom, Hie fruit, boom, down into D. You suck. Ice fruit, what are you going to fucking make a drink cold? Who cares? I can do that with a refrigerator, okay? And they have them already in houses. Ridiculous. I rent, okay? There's just already a refrigerator here. And a freezer. So, I can already make things cold. I don't even need superpowers. Alright, what's next? Okay. Just as I was talking about. Boom. Mera Nomi. Flare fruit. Watch this. You ready? Check this out. Scale it down. Boom. I gotta put a vine boom in or something. I'm probably not gonna put a vine boom in. Maybe I will. Boom. S tier. I don't care. Comment at me. Tell me how wrong I am. I don't even care. The Flare fruit, dude. One of the coolest devil fruits in the entire series. Turning into fire is just fucking cool. It's cool. I don't care. I would love to be able to do that. You know what I don't have in my house is a refrigerator that makes me warm. I just gotta put on more clothes. 25 minutes in. It's taking a lot longer than I thought, but I'm having fun with it. Alright, Mera Nomi. Let's go over some of the abilities for this fruit here, if I can find it. In English, there's a couple different names because there's more than one dub for One Piece, so in English, this is called the Flare fruit or the Flame fruit. Let me pull up a picture of Ace. This is the user... Oh, well, censored him. His peanuts. That's kind of messed up, actually, that of all the things, it just had the magma fruit over Ace. I feel like that's kind of dark. Okay. Yeah, there he is, turning into fire. He's badass. That might be coloring my opinion here a little bit. I definitely like Ace. I think he's cool as hell. So, Mera Nomi. Oh, also Sabo has it, too. This dork. Wait, let me pull up... That picture's got too much riz. Let me pull up a dorky picture of Sabo. Yeah, he has one, too. He has it, too. This guy. So, Mera Nomi. What can it do? You can turn into fire, you can control fire. Obviously, that's all these Logias. He can... These are Sabo's abilities? I don't care about Sabo's abilities. Where are Ace's abilities? Ace is cool. We like Ace, okay? Ace. Techniques. Kagero. He can just blast like a giant fire torrent like this. Just a huge fireball. Pretty cool. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, this is classic Ace. Higan, it's called. Fire gun. Pointing the index and middle fingers with both hands at the opponent like guns, and he just shoots you with some fire bullets. Look at that. Kind of looks like he's taking a dump. Kind of a bad pose. But it's cool, man. It's cool. I don't even care. What the hell is this? Hoda Ruby? Firefly light. Ace creates many small glowing greenish yellow fireballs that float around an enemy. It's apparently used in preparation for Hitoruma. After using the well, let me pull up these fireflies. I don't really remember this, to be honest with you. He does these firefly, little green glowing fire things, and apparently he uses that, and then he sends them all flying into the target all at once. Okay. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like I'm really making the best case for this devil fruit being the coolest, but I don't even care. Does he like breathe some fire or something too? Wait, let me see. Maybe he can't breathe fire. I'm sure he can, but I don't know if we've seen it. Okay, I don't really feel like going into I don't feel like going into Sabo too much here, but this looks really cool, so I'm going to show this really quick. I mean, look at that. It's a big old fire blast just blasting. Was that Machbeiss? Or Burgess? Who is that? Oh, yeah, no, it's probably Burgess. Why would it be Machbeiss? Does he have is that him? Yeah, he's got his belt. That's Burgess, right? Yeah, that's him. Because it would have been on Dressrosa, and he was there trying to get the Flare fruit. It's kind of silly now that Jesus Burgess got the strong fruit or whatever that just makes this strong guy more stronger, even more stronger.
Increase your intelligence, more smarter.
It's kind of silly to think that he wanted the Flare fruit because he has like the most targeted to him devil fruit. But yeah, I don't know, man. He turns into fire. It's cool. I don't really have a lot to say about it, to be honest. What do we got next? Taking a long ass time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gonna be like an hour. Jesus Burgess. Next up, we have the smoke fruit. Smoker's smoke fruit. Not surprising that the smoke fruit belongs to Smoker. You know, I never really thought about this before somehow, but the smoke fruit is pretty similar to the gas fruit, right? But it's kind of just worse. That definitely comes up, right? I mean, like we have the magma and the fire. We have ice and one that didn't come up yet. And now we have gas and smoke. So it seems like some of them are like just kind of a weaker version of another fruit. So you can generate, manipulate, and become smoke. It kind of canceled out Ace's fire fruit somehow because I guess he like suffocated the flames or something. Oh, I didn't pull up a picture of Smoker. I should probably do that. Smoker, here he is. Here's Smoker, Smokey, cool guy. His like bandolier or whatever you call that of cigars, smoking 2 cigars at once. So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to see if this is really any like different from the gas fruit. I will say this attack where he sends his like black fist. I don't know if that's a gloved fist or a hockey fist. Did they have hockey going on yet? Looks purpley like hockey. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's that attack looks cool, but I'm trying to find evidence that this is not a worse version of the gas fruit. You can kind of fly around just like Caesar Clown can with the smoke, which is pretty cool, right? That's a good ability. But yeah, I'm definitely putting this below the gas fruit. Where even is it? What layer is it? This one kind of sucks, dude. Honestly, I don't think any of these are going to be that bad to go in the bottom tier, so I'm straight up putting this in E for now. Kind of just sucks. Turn into smoke? Cool. Congratulations. Okay, here's another one that I don't have a picture for the fruit. Here's just a picture of Aramaki. Is that his name? Green Bull? He looks pretty ugly in this form, honestly, but this is another one where, similar to Akainu, the guy that uses this fruit is super strong, so it is a little tougher to gauge the power of this devil fruit, but it seems to be very powerful, and I think he has some, like, regeneration abilities that are kind of, like, a little bit broken. Like, I seem to remember he just kind of, like, heals, doesn't he? Because he, like, he's got, like, all those plants, and he just heals with them or something. Where is this? It is called, by the way, the Mori Nomi, the Woods fruit. So yeah, you can create, control, and transform into plants, namely those that make up forests. So it's like trees, mostly. Yeah, it's got like a huge, like, large-scale attacks. Like, the attacks of these, he, like, makes forests, just giant, massive attacks. He kind of got, didn't he have to get, like, stopped by Shanks? Like, Shanks had to show up and tell him to stop because he was, like, kind of going crazy, this dude. Yeah, he attacks with, like, roots. He uses, like, photosynthesis. I don't know, man. This kind of doesn't sound that good on its own. Transforms into a large tree guy. He can fly with a giant flower. Oh, here you go. Looks like this. Yeah, he gets a flower and he flies around. That's why it's kind of not that cool. I don't think I'd really want this. Yeah, okay, so he's got a weakness to fire, but he's, like, doesn't really, somehow. I don't remember really what he did. It says he has an ability, Bokarin. Ryokugyu makes his tree body less susceptible to fire-based attacks. Okay, so he just decided to not be vulnerable to them. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe the wiki's just not giving me a lot of information, and I also don't remember it that well. Oh, we can, like, drain the liquid from people's bodies. That's right, he, like, stabs them with roots, and it, like, sucks them dry. That's pretty cool. But I don't like this one, honestly. I don't think it's, Like, I feel like it's more powerful because the guy that has it is really strong. But I wouldn't really want to have it, and I kind of don't think it would be that good in the hands of somebody that wasn't as strong as Green Bull. So I'm putting this way low. I'm putting this in D for me. D? Do I want to put it in E? It's... I wouldn't want this. I just wouldn't want this. Like, I think I would be kind of disappointed if I got this. Well, he can fly. So can Smoker, though. Whatever. I'll leave him in D, I guess. Because it seems a little bit more offensively powerful than Smoker's Smoke Fruit to me. What's next? Oh, dude. A terrible fruit for a terrible man. We've got the Numa Nomi, the Swamp Fruit. This is the devil fruit of Caribou. Just a bad, gross guy who you really just hate to see. Here you go. What more do you need? That's all proof you need. Just a bad guy. Not a guy you just don't want to see him do anything. He's never going to do anything good, so you just don't want to see him. You don't want to see him thriving. He creates swamps. Okay, so he can like store stuff in himself. That's pretty cool. Why are every one of these pictures of him being a creep towards a woman, dude? What the hell? Look at that. Come on, dog, chill. Like, just be cool, Caribou. This guy sucks. So he can like store stuff, like seemingly like infinitely. He like chokes people with it. This one sucks, dude. I hate this one. I hate that. I mean, my opinion of this fruit is definitely colored by the guy that has it significantly. I just don't like this guy. He's got like a Gatling gun that he uses that like crank mechanism. Is this just a regular Gatling gun? He just stores it in his swamp? Or is it a swamp powered Gatling gun? I think this is a regular gun and he just keeps it in the swamp. So I don't really know if that's really a devil fruit ability. This devil fruit sucks, dude. I'm putting it way low. Which also makes me think I can bump some of these other ones that I put low up a little higher because I didn't think I was going to have anything at the bottom. Dude, this is E tier for me. I hate this. I hate this guy and I hate this fruit. I put it there. What did I put really low? Aokiji's fruit and Akainu's fruit. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump Aokiji and Akainu both up one tier. So Akainu's Magma Fruit goes up to B. Aokiji's Ice Fruit goes up to C. And the tree guy, Ryan Reynolds tree guy, he can just kind of stay where he's at in D tier. That's fine. So we got a pretty even spread now. We got 2 in A and 2 in E. Everything else has 1. What do we have next? This here is the Pika Nomi, another one I had to make a mock-up of. This is the light fruit. And because I didn't have an image for the light fruit, I took the dark fruit and I made it yellow. So there you go. This fruit belongs to Kizaru, of course. Admiral Kizaru of the Marines. Where the hell is this fucking fruit? Borsalino. Also known as Borsalino. So the Pika Nomi. This is the light fruit. This is a pretty cool fruit. Pretty powerful. But also, it's kind of one that's a little bit like, what does it do? How does it work? Like, you turn into light and you can move really fast. But like, I don't know. Something like fire. It's like, it makes more sense. You turn into fire. I know what fire is. Let me pull up a picture of Borsalino here, because I've been trying to remember to do that, although I probably keep forgetting. Here he is, this little lazy motherfucker. There he is, Borsalino. This is Kizaru, right? I think I always mix up, I want to say Kizaru, like I switch around Kizaru and Kuzan. So, yeah, I mean, it's a strong fruit. The light sword that he uses is cool. Can I find a picture of that? Oh, he's got the Yada mirror. That thing's cool as hell. This is a GIF. I don't think I can pull up a GIF. Well, hang on. Let me pull up. Here's his sword. Super dope. Super dope. So much aura. And then he's also got the Yada mirror, where he just, like, shoots light, and it, like, banks around. What do they call it? The Yada something. Yada no Kagami. 8-span mirror. Yata no Kagami. Oh, I guess this is, like, an actual thing, huh? That's kind of neat. It seems like a lot of his techniques are named after some kind of, like, different Shinto symbols. Like, he's got another Amaterasu move. Amaterasu is a Shinto kami, I believe. But just there's an interesting little tidbit. The Yada no Kagami is a sacred bronze mirror that is part of the imperial regalia of Japan. And the imperial regalia of Japan, if I remember correctly, is like some items. There's like a Hoju sacred jewel, and I believe maybe a crown or something. There's a couple different items, and they're like, I don't know, items of historical importance to Japan. Let me see. The Imperial Regalia of Japan. It is. Oh, it's not a Hoju jewel. It's a Magatama, little comma looking thing. Oh yeah, here you go. Yeah, the Imperial Regalia of Japan. Kind of neat. It is the mirror, Yada no Kagami. The jewel, Yasakani no Magatama. That's a little comma shaped thing. And the sword, Kusanagi no Tsurugi. Legendary Japanese sword and one of the 3 imperial regalia. It represents virtue, the virtue of valor. Wait a second. It's a sword and a shield looking, a sword that's valor and a shield looking thing that's, what's the shield represent? Wisdom? Or honesty? What about the Magatama? What does that represent? I don't know. But I was thinking it reminded me of the 3 items from Kingdom Hearts that you can choose at the beginning that kind of determine your build. The, come on, man. The little sword and shield and magic you can get in Kingdom Hearts. Why can't I find a picture of that? This thing here. Well, you can't see, you can only see the sword and the wand or the staff, but Goofy's shield would have been back there somewhere. I wonder if that is related to that. We're getting off topic. I digress. Okay. Hide his sword thing there. So anyway, that was an interesting little diversion we just took there. The goal was to, I was just trying to pull up a picture of the Yada no Kagami attack that Kizaru uses. Here we go, perfect. There it is. He just launches some light and it like banks off of things. I don't know why it took so long to get that out. He forms light between his hands and reflects off any surface he wishes. He then, he like teleports with this, I think. He then transforms into the light in order to get to the desired location. Yeah, super cool. Really cool. It's also like, teleporting itself isn't necessarily that cool, but this technique is super cool. Oh yeah, he literally has another move, Yasakani no Magatama, Kama Jewel of 8 Shaku. Suna crosses his arms in front of him and uses both hands to fire a torrent of deadly light particles. Looks like this. So yeah, his fun fact for you guys that I didn't know until just now, seems like Kizaru's attacks are themed after the imperial regalia of Japan. Pretty neat. We have the mirror, we have the Magatama. What's this? Oh, and the sword. I was like, what's the sword? The sword is the sword. That's the first thing I showed. Boom. We've come full circle. Check that out. Easter egg for you guys. Wow, yay. I'm smart and I know things. And I figured things out. Ta-da! What do you think about that? Anyway, it's a cool devil fruit, but again, I don't know if it's one I would necessarily want to have very much. Because, like, there's something about it that's just, like I said, it's kind of hard to, like, it's sort of intangible, you know? Like, literally, light is intangible. And it's got cool uses, but it's sort of abstract in a way that's, like, is it the one I would want most? So, I think I'm going to put this... I have Caesar Clowns up really high, because I started out with it up high, and it's strong. I don't think that's an A for me. I'm going to move Caesar Clowns, I think. I'm moving Caesar Clown to B, because it's very powerful, but I wouldn't really want it. Electricity, can I move that to B too? Because I don't really want that either. Do I? Would I? I'll leave it in A. Let's leave it in A. And I'm going to put, I feel like a lot of these are B tier for me, because I'm going to put light in B tier, because it's like, it's cool, it's powerful. Do I want it? Not really. I could maybe bump that up, though. I could see that going up one. Back up to A, or up to A. What do we have next? This is a pretty cool one, I guess. It's another, I don't know, a lot of these are really just, it kind of comes down to how the person used them, and the user of this devil fruit used it well. We have the sand fruit. In Japanese, it is called the Suna no Mi. Let me see, how many of these have we gotten through so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 3 left after this, is that right? 1, 2, 3. Yep. So, obviously, this devil fruit is used by, still, Crocodile. This is everyone's favorite Joe Manganiello. Crocodile, dude, I actually really like Crocodile. I think he's a really cool villain. I think Luffy trained so hard before he set out on his journey that he kind of hit the ground running, right? And he kind of just whooped Arlong's ass, and he really didn't run into a lot of trouble until he met Crocodile. And Crocodile pretty much, like, gave this man an existential crisis. Like, he reminded Luffy of his mortality. And honestly, Luffy didn't really figure out how to beat that guy other than just kind of getting lucky and using the environment. He literally needed to get... How do I not say get Crocodile wet? He had to use liquid to wet the sand so that he could hit Crocodile. This is before he knew about hockey and stuff. And that sand fruit was pretty scary, man, because it really put Luffy in a position he had not really been in before. So Crocodile can sort of levitate with the sand as well. A lot of these, if you kind of turn into like a cloud of something, particles, I guess, then you can kind of float around with it. That's pretty cool. He can like dry people out. That's pretty cool, right? Doesn't he like dry the shit out of people? It says Crocodile claims to have mastered the Suna Nomi to the point of perfection, being able to shape his sand into a variety of weapon-like forms. Yeah, he's definitely knows how to use this very well. He can he just happens to have a hook hand, which is another example of the fruit being complemented by the user, because he can just like shoot his hand at people. I guess he could probably, I guess Smoker does that with his hand, so I guess he could just sever his hand even if it wasn't a hook. But it being a hook is a lot cooler, and it makes it like a projectile weapon. Yeah, he can dry people out. I'm not seeing that exactly, but even here it says he can't dry people out with the hook for whatever reason. Only his regular right hand is capable of drying people out. So he's got a bunch of different attacks. He summons a giant tornado, Desert La Spada, just like a bunch of blades made out of sand. There's an image that's pretty badass of Desert Grande Espada, Great Sword of the Desert, an altered and enhanced version of Desert Spada. I don't really remember when this was, but it looks cool. So, where do we put this fruit? I don't know. I don't really have that much more to say about it. You turn into sand, you dry people out. Crocodile's good at using it. Would I want it? I don't want to put all these in B tier, because like a lot of that is just like, is this what I want? Would I want to turn into sand? What would that let me do? I don't have a hook hand, so I can't shoot a hook hand at people. I don't live in the desert, so I'm not surrounded by sand. It's kind of mediocre for me. You know what? I'm tempted to say I like this devil fruit because, like I said, the context it had when it came into the story, it was definitely powerful devil fruit. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pop it all the way down in C tier because it just doesn't do that much for me. You know what I mean? It's sand. Might as well turn into dirt. What's next? Make 'em eat dirt. Okay, dude, I'm gonna have to rearrange this tier list because I was worried these were all gonna go really high, and there's a lot of these that I just don't like, surprisingly. We have the Susu Nomi, Karasu's Soot fruit. I don't have a picture of the fruit, but I do have this picture of Karasu where you can kind of see it in action. He turns into crows. That's because his name, Karasu, means crow. Really doesn't have anything to do with the devil fruit as far as I can tell. His power is soot, but he turns into crows. I don't know, it's a weird one. Susu Nomi. What's it do? Yes, you create, control, and become the natural element of soot, which is just like carbon from fire. It's like if like the smoke fruit is kind of useless. It's like a byproduct of fire. But this is like an even worse byproduct of fire. It's like burnt shit. Like it's like turn into trash devil fruit. Turn into trash. Make people sick when you turn into trash. He can, I guess, fly because of the crows. Fly at high speed. I remember hearing people say that Oda specifically didn't want to put flying devil fruits in, and that when it came to adding Shiki in, who had the float fruit, that he was concerned about what that would do. I mean, this is, again, I don't really have a source for this. I don't know. This is just what I remember hearing. And he did end up putting Shiki in with the float fruit. He does have that power. But it seems to me there's a whole lot of people who have the ability to fly. Maybe not at like long distances. But this dude just turns into a bird, so I think he can pretty much just full-blown fly. I don't really remember what he does to attack with it. He breaks off portions of soot from his body and creates crows. Yeah, I know that. They carry Karasu's consciousness. Yeah, because they're just part of his body. They can, like, attack people. He has an attack where he breaks his body apart and turns into crows. Stop saying he turns into crows. I know he turns into crows. Dude, alright. I'm not even going to read any further. I've seen enough. Boom. That's a E-tier devil fruit right there. Logia fruit, mind you. This is in the span of the Logia fruits. Honestly, dude, I'm gonna do something here, and I'm gonna move the magma fruit to A. See, as soon as I did that, I'm like, no, because I don't want that. I don't want to turn into magma. It's boring. Ice, though? Okay, so I didn't want to put Akainu above Aokiji. I mean, I didn't want to put Aokiji above Akainu because he beat him, but I don't care. I'd rather be ice than magma. So I'm going to put... I think I might have had these like this originally. I'm going to put the magma fruit down in C, and I'm going to move the ice fruit all the way on up to B. What do you know about that? I might even move it up again, because I just didn't want to put everything at the top. Oh, okay, wait, hang on a second. Here's the top tier devil fruit. So, there's 2 devil fruits left. One of them, the next one, might be top tier. The other one might be bottom tier. So, first up, Yami Nomi, the darkness fruit. The dark fruit. This fan wiki. This power, of course, is controlled by the one and only Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard. Okay, so this is maybe a top tier fruit. It's very powerful, it's very cool, it's very weird. Like, it doesn't really function like other Logia fruits do. Even at the top of the wiki, it says, this fruit is considered unique even for a Logia. The ability it grants is said to be the most evil. So there's some mystery behind this devil fruit. The fact that Blackbeard sought this out, we still don't really know why. For some reason, it gives him some kind of gravity power. I forgot about that. I guess it creates like a void that crushes people, which is pretty cool. Now, one of the main elements to this devil fruit is the ability to just suck out the power of other devil fruits, which by that I mean remove them from the person, negate the power, not actually take on the power. But maybe it does that too, because Blackbeard has 2 devil fruits somehow. That's another part of this that's sort of a mystery. For all I know, that's a power inherent to the darkness fruit. What do they call this in English? Dark fruit? Yeah, dark fruit. So I don't know if that's a part of the dark fruit, if that's part of Blackbeard himself, if that's his ability. But yeah, he just like turns off devil fruits. And maybe it lets him get more. He does feel increased pain. And I think he doesn't have the normal invulnerability that Logia users do, where like he would just turn into darkness. Like he just gets hit. It says, the major strength of this fruit, the darkness that the user turns into, which swallows up everything, is also its major weakness. So you actually, when you have the darkness fruit, you actually absorb the attack instead of being intangible. And you take more, I don't know, I don't think more damage. I think that's maybe sort of unclear, but you feel more pain. So that's a drawback, definitely, but not that big of one, in my opinion. Yeah, and the intangibility of Logia fruits got pretty much nullified by Hockey, so that's not even really a weakness. Like, who cares? Everyone can get hit. What kind of actual powers does he have? He, like, spreads the darkness around and it just, like, swallows people up. He's got some Kuro-Uzu. Yeah, Kuro-Uzu. Dark water. He activates the gravity power of his darkness to pull an enemy into his grasp, and then he attacks them with his own strength. Yeah, so it doesn't really seem to have a lot of offensive abilities. It's pretty much just the gravity and the sucking things in. So, I don't know. Maybe I can't put this in S tier. Because if it doesn't, does it really have any offensive abilities? Am I missing something? I mean, he also, the fight with Ace, I think, was largely off screen, wasn't it? He spreads the darkness and traps people, absorbs them in, and then I guess he kind of crushes them. And then he spits out the debris that he sucks in. But yeah, it seems like this devil fruit is definitely reliant on Teach's own physical strength. So, I don't know. I don't think I can really put this in S tier. But am I going to end this out with just one devil fruit in S tier? I mean, I guess that's fine. I'm sure people are probably going to have opinions about the particular devil fruit that I put in S tier, being the Flare fruit. It's definitely not the strongest of all the devil fruits. It's just probably the one that I would most want to have. Electricity is pretty badass. I don't know. Do I want to move gas back up? Gas has so many uses, but I wouldn't really want that. I don't really want to turn into gas. Do I want to turn into ice? Not really. Sounds cold. Do I want to turn into light? Not really. I just hit the zoom button, so now I gotta rescale this, dang it. Okay, I fixed the scaling. Alright, we've got one more devil fruit on the list. I don't have a picture of this devil fruit because I don't think Oda ever drew one, but we have Monet, kind of an underwhelming one to end on here, to be honest. Monet's snow fruit, which is called the Yuki Nomi in Japanese. The Yuki Nomi snow fruit belonging to Monet. Like I said, it's kind of just like a weaker version of the ice fruit. This is the one I was talking about before. Yeah, a lot of these abilities are like, she could turn into snow to avoid attacks. It's like, yeah, well, not if you have Hockey, so not that helpful. She could form a barrier of snow. Yeah, I do seem to remember that this fight was like, it literally says, it took Luffy several Hockey-imbued punches to break it. So I don't know how... Yeah, I don't know why they even bother to mention the intangibility, honestly, because you just use Hockey and you can still hit them. But she has some defensive abilities that are hard to break through. 10 layers of snow hut. That is such a dumb ability. She just made a 10-layer thick snow hut. And then I think Luffy just had to bash through it all. It was first used to trap Luffy, stalling him to allow more time for Caesar to escape. What a boring ability. I mean, it's effective, but it's boring. A snow wall to block a doorway. This sucks, dude. Mana and Yuki. She turns completely into snow, surrounds an opponent's body with snow, turns into a large snow monster with long fangs. Check this out. I don't really remember this. Pretty cool, to be honest. This snow monster thing she is here, that's pretty cool. So yeah, she could turn into a big snow monster, apparently. I'll give her that one. That's pretty cool. She has wings. Why does Mana have wings? Why does she have wings? Oh, because I think Caesar Clown experimented on her. Yeah, I think he just grafted wings onto her. Forgot about that. I was like, is there some kind of snow-related harpy ability? Nah, Caesar Clown's just a war criminal. She makes these snow rabbit things, which, I don't know, what do they do? Solid hardened snowballs with small rabbit-like ears. It says she used it on Toshigi, but since she dodged it, the offensive properties of the attack are unknown. So with that, let's go ahead and put Monet's Devil Fruit all the way at the bottom. Sucky, terrible Devil Fruit. So, I have 4 of these in E tier. Can I move any of these up? The Swamp Fruit is kind of decent, but fuck Caribou, that's staying at the bottom. Smoke Fruit, you can fly with it. I'll move Smoker's Fruit up. I'll move that up to D tier. You know, why not, right? Where's Caribou's Fruit? Move Caribou over, Karasu over, move Monet over. So there's our tier list. Do I agree with these? I was kind of just going off like vibes and what felt right at the time. I want to put the sand fruit higher, kind of, but I think maybe that's just because Crocodile's good at using it. Like I said, I live in a city. There's no sand around here for me to use. It's not that helpful for me. The electricity fruit, that could maybe be helpful in a city, or useful. Do we move that up to an A? I mean, to an S? Nah, let's just leave it. I guess that's it. There's our tier list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 Devil Fruits, 13 Logia Fruits. There they all are. I hope you liked the video. I talked about this for like way longer than I thought I would. I thought this would maybe take me like 30 minutes, and I sat here for over an hour talking about these. So I hope it's not boring. If you watched all the way to this point, thank you so much for watching. I am always working on a bunch of different videos at one time. I really don't know when this will go up or when the next thing will go up, but there's always something coming out, so keep an eye out for that. If you guys like this video, I would potentially be open to doing more Devil Fruit tier lists. I would probably have to make them a lot snappier because there's only 13 Logias, but there's 42 Zoans and 93 Paramecia fruits. Not counting unnamed or non-canon Devil Fruits. That's just the named canon ones. So, let me know down below if you'd like to see me make some more tier lists for these other types of Devil Fruits. Did I get any of these way wrong? Like I said, I bet you I'll probably upset some people with the Flare Fruit being at the top. I'm sure there's some other things here. The Magma Fruit being C tier. That's probably going to upset some people. But, yeah. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.